Right. Well, welcome to what will hopefully be a demonstration of how to get a stuck cleaning patch out of a smoothbore musket. Um, what's happened with this is a friend of mine who has had this for a very, very long time, got a patch stuck down the barrel about here 12 years ago, and couldn't get it out. So he wasn't shooting too much with it after that, and he stuck it in a cabinet and just kind of forgot about it since then. He gave it to me as a project gun, saying if I could get it back into working order. It was mine, but it definitely had a patch stuck down that he couldn't get out. And it had a lot of other issues. It's an doglock musket, and for English Civil War period, and it fires through a touch hole. When it came to me a few months ago, the doglock mechanism was completely seized with rust. The end of the barrel here was completely covered in rust, and I don't know what the inside of the barrel looks like at all, which is one of the problems of getting the patch out. So in trying to renovate this barrel and get it back together, first thing obviously is we got it off the gun, gave it a clean, got all the active surface rust off of it, and we're trying to get the patch out. Now, because of the amount of rust and because I don't know what the inside of the barrel looks like, I'm hesitant of exactly what to do with it and getting it out, and I want to be very cautious with that because I do want to shoot with it, but at the same time the barrel's almost certainly going to have to be reproofed either way, and I don't know what condition this side of the barrel is like behind the patch, which is stuck about here where I've marked it. So the first thing we did was we used a single helix worm and tried to get it out with that, and that had absolutely no luck at all. The patch was quite stuck down. I then made a double helix worm and tried with that, and unfortunately no luck with that. I was able to pull some of the string out that was tied around the patch in case this happened, but when originally stuck, the string was tugged and it was torn and snapped, and so the patch stayed and the string came out, and there's remnants of the string still down that I was able to get out with the double helix, but nothing much else. We've also tried a full bullet worm, which is a stronger screw, and that has had no effect either. So it really is quite stuck down there. We have also lubricated it quite heavily with various types of black powder cleaning solutions for muzzle loaders, and also with various types of penetrating grease, but nothing has gotten it to move. I did try to get the breech plug off, but it is stuck on there quite hard, where the only way to really get it off would probably be to heat it up, and at this point I'm not really prepared to heat it up to get the breech plug off. The other option then would be to put some fine grain powder down the touch hole and blow it out with that, but the problem is I don't know what the inside condition of the barrel is like. Certainly the outside of it was in very poor condition, and because of that I'm really hesitant at this point, before it gets proofed again, to put any type of powder down, because there is a danger of what that might do, or if indeed the barrel can take it any longer. So I'd rather have the professionals do that and get it reproofed by the Birmingham proof house if I can get the patch out. So the next thing to then really figure out was how to get it out. Now, looking around, I saw in the States you can get CO2 discharge kits for muzzle loaders, but here in the UK you can't get them. But looking at them, basically all it is this, which is a bicycle tire inflation kit. The inflation kits themselves, they come as cheap as under a tenner on Amazon. And then there's a few more premium versions and stuff. This version here is about £25. I sprung for a more expensive version for two reasons. First, this takes a 16-gram CO2 cartridge, and I wanted that slightly larger cartridge with a bit more CO2, and also because it has a push button trigger. Now, I thought this was quite important on these because of the fact that a lot of them have a lever that you turn to let out a little bit of CO2 at a time when inflating a bike tire, so that you don't burst the tube. The thing is, I don't want to inflate a tire with it. I need the CO2 to escape as quick as possible, just like if I was touching this off with black powder, so that it fills the chamber with CO2 and blows out the patch. So I opted for a push button version, which will hopefully do that because I can depress that quicker. The next thing is how to actually get an attachment into the touch hole. This is where the versions of these for muzzle loaders in the States you see actually have custom made bits and bobs. I don't have that. I wasn't going to pay that kind of money to ship it over from the States. And again, Amazon was quite handy that what it had is a brass valve kit with different adapters for different valves that you can buy and attach to any type of tire inflation kit. So that's what I've done. I've attached 2 different valves, one of a kind of a pointed spigot into another based on the threads to then get it into the valve that fits a bike tire instead. And I should be able to put this over the touch hole and blow it out. So the next thing with that is I've just put a bag over the end of it to catch the patch and put a rubber band around that. So hopefully that will catch it as it goes out. And really the idea is just to put this to the touch hole, cover the touch hole entirely, depress it, fill it with CO2, and hopefully blow it out. So fingers crossed this works, because it's completely experimental. I've not done it before, and we will see if it works. So we're going to put this over the touch hole, and we're going to hold it there as steady as we can and depress it. And that definitely shot something out there. I'm just going to take my ramrod real quick and throw it down and see if that's clear. And indeed, that's clear all the way to the end, and that has cleared that out. So clearly it was successful. It blew the bag straight off, and it's somewhere at the other side of my garage, so I will go see if I can find that to see what the patch looked like when it was there. But definitely worth the 25 quid and the 5 quid for an adapter set. And certainly at reenactance, I could carry this around, that if there was a misfire and I needed to clear a gun quickly and easily, I could certainly do that. But that's just saved me what I've been working on for 2 months to try to get a patch out. And yeah, brilliant, well done. So worth it if you need to clear it out as easily as possible. Right, okay, so I just found the bag in the garage, and I just want to show you what was actually stuck in there for all that time. You can see the bag is filthy. It's covered in black powder and soot and other disgusting stuff that was stuck in the barrel for that 12-year period. So if I take this out, this is what was stuck down the barrel. Looks very tampon-like, actually, but you have the cleaning cloth, quite a large piece of cleaning cloth there, that was quite compacted in, you can see, very hard compacted in, and then a very long string that, as I said before, had pulled off and stuff. Absolutely covered in muck and black powder, so there was black powder in there as well, but came right out, and I can see why the worms and stuff were not pulling out, because it's just so large, so heavy, so compacted. A worm like that would just not get the purchase on something like that to get it out. Even the double helix one, that's quite a large cleaning patch, and it wouldn't work. But it's out now. I can scrub the barrel down, give it a really good clean, and then send it off to the proof house to be proofed. But yeah, job well done.